This is Tarquin coming back with another episode of A Clash of Kings Mountain Blade, and we have two objectives in this playthrough with Alesander Stone. One is to actually find Robb Stark, the King of the North, and get Maron back from him. It's been a couple of weeks now, he can't really need him for much longer. And the second is that we are going to go on a big world tour again, looking for companions. Andrew Locke running away from Balon Greyjoy, now fighting Balon Greyjoy, and no doubt losing. That is exactly what happened. "15-9 broken men. We're going to go ahead and assault them. We don't like those guys just running around here. When you're done, you'll regret being born, probably. We're going to be on the plains now. Or, no, that's not the case. We are in this sort of place. I'm not sure what we would call it, a Riverlands sort of scenario, but it's going to be alright. Our cavalry will get caught up. They won't be charging that fast across the water. They'll get shot. We will still kill these broken men very quickly. I know this because I am going to be right in the middle of them, and I am going to use a two-handed weapon. And that's how we're going to make sure that this goes well for us. There's one kill. Soon it will be as though they were never here. And not much to say about that other than, once again, the two-handed weapon proving that it is definitely worth 5,000 gold or whatever it was. Or silver, or whatever the denomination is. I'm sure it would be silver. I just say gold because it's an easy shorthand for RPG currency. It could be Poke Dollars. I'm not sure what they take in this particular universe. I mean, I know that the currency is gold and silver and that sort of thing, but it would seem like the amount of gold pieces wouldn't really fit, so it must be silver that we're paying our armies in. We finally lost a Pentoche archer that was mounted. It took a long time, but I knew that was going to happen from the minute that he joined up with us. We have had terrible luck in the past with those kinds of guys, and it continued now. Nothing good from those broken men, but maybe we got some experience. Yep, that's basically all it was. And we saved the lives of this nice northern caravan, who's definitely taking the long way to Gulltown. We're just running south here and hoping to find any northern lord that will tell us where we can find Robb Stark. But, okay, Salt Pans Patrol, we're just going to come into this battle. It's going to be over really quickly, but we're going to try to get a kill. You can see us just looking pretty tough on our horse. Not at all like somebody you'd want to mess with. We take out that horse, and now they have turned their backs to our heavy cavalry charge. You just gotta figure, not a smart move. And this horseman, thinking he's going to get away, choosing the wrong time to wheel, and getting knocked over. In this battle, a foregone conclusion, but hey, why not help out the Salt Pans patrols? I've always liked the Salt Pans. They made me a lot of money in the early game, before the price of salt, I guess, stabilized. And that's the end of this battle. We'll release that Chronogman for the Raider Horsemen, knowing that the bounties on Raiders pretty high. That's going to be all we do here. The North's still in control of Fair Market, but we're going to run to the Salt Pans, sell some stuff. Okay, now down 900 gold a week. Very, very affordable, of course. And not at all the massive annoyance that troop costs are before you have many, many investments. Looks like we can now buy a mailed destrier, which is exactly what we're going to do for one of our men. Rusty War Mace we're not going to buy. It is pretty low in quality compared to the rest of them. 10% difference in strength. So what we're going to do is, instead of this heavy destrier, I guess, yeah, she will be losing a couple of points in charge for many points in armor, or just a few really. 40, 45, 40, 37, and alright, it appears as though the mailed destrier is not really that great compared to the heavy destrier, so we're going to keep heavy destriers with how we had them before. It's got more hit points, a lot less, not even a lot less armor, only 3 less armor, more speed, more maneuverability, and more charge. So we're going to ride on the mailed destrier until it dies. And in the future, we won't be spending so much money on them. Plated ones, sure, they have, I think, 60 hit point, not hit points, but 60 armor. But the just typical mailed ones look cool, but are not that good compared to heavy destriers. And I guess that is another thing about the Reach Knights, is they look prettier, but they are really not that much stronger at all. And where in the world is the King in the North? We can't find him anywhere. So many raiders running around here everywhere, but we don't really have that much space for them. But let's see who holds Fair Market. Roose Bolton is the guy in charge of this. Not my favorite man. Hopefully not anyone's favorite man. He is a thoroughly unpleasant fellow. No good armor here whatsoever, so we're just going to visit the tavern and see if there is anyone we can recruit. No, but we can certainly sell all of these prisoners. 1,000 gold for just carrying some guys around for a little while. And where in the world is Robb Stark? We're just going to go back north again. Not very eventful, I'm afraid. We're just running around. Willis Manderley. Surely he wants to talk to me. Is he nice? Where is Robb Stark? Between the Acorn Water and the Dread Fort. So he is, I guess, wandering around and wildling hunting. And that's where Maron will be. So that is where we're going. We're going to find Robb Stark, and we're going to say, "Hello, the King in the North. It has been nice working for you, but we really want to finish this quest and maybe get another one." So many Crownagmen to run down and kill, and all of them distracting me from my goal, which is to get Maron back by talking to the King in the North. Ryman Frey now works for the North. Really interesting that he would have left the Riverlands service. Never mind, he is a Frey. He doesn't like me. He's mad at me just for existing, so we're not going to talk to him. We're just going to move further north and see if we can find Robb Stark. And we could expect that he would just come back to Winterfell eventually, but Reginald Estrin, again, not a nice guy. Robb Stark, we have found him. Good news for us. Oh, you want your companion back? Yes, I do. He needs a letter delivered to Lord Philip Plum of the Westerlands. So, yeah, I will do that for him. And that is at Case. And that means Case is exactly where we'll go. Now that we are no longer at war with the Westerlands. And this is just, you can see that now that Maron is back, we finally have that foraging ability again. It is a long run to Case, and we're just making it, running along here, several days, all along this, but of course no one to fear. There are not going to be any major threats to our lives around here. Eldhart being chased down by me, but nothing's going to happen to him, of course. And wow, the Westerlands in a state of full rout, and the Stormlands just taking over virtually everything, all the way up to Duskendale, Silverhall, and now holding Faircastle. I mean, that is tremendous, just tremendous. And it seems as though Dragonstone has not been knocked out of Clegane's Keep, so the Westerlands have just been totally buffeted by this war, and appear to be the ones who are going to lose it, just as justice would have it. I was hoping that would be Clavis Lebert, who I do recognize, but it was not him. We can see we could get a plated warhorse here. But it is tremendously expensive for that extra points of armor. It is slower. It is quite slow, in fact. It looks as though it's about as fast as, or a little bit faster than an injured horse, which is quite poor. The heavy destriers with, or destriers in general, with 47 speed, and then the heavy ones with their increased stats appear to be quite superior to that. We're going to take a walk around the streets and see if we can meet that guildmaster really quickly, although we will not be making an investment in case, thoroughly expecting that we will not be able to collect on it for quite some time, or indeed ever. We want to start working for Robb Stark as soon as possible, as soon as he will ask us to, and that's just the breaks. But we don't find their guildmaster extremely quickly, and because it's only 300 experience and not that essential, we're just now going to leave. We're going to look for the first Lord of the Westerlands that we find, and we're going to say, hey, where's that guy Philip Plum? I've heard of him, and I want to talk to him. Of course, he might just be in this party. Jarian Moorland. Lord Philip Plum currently at Case. Alright, so we're just going to run back to Case. Apparently, if we visit the castle, he should be there. And that would have been shown to me if I would have looked over the map. And we're just going to say to him, apropos of nothing, by the way, Lord Plum, I have a letter for you. And now we're going to mostly get out of here, but we're going to take a tour of the south, more or less, Lannisport, currently under siege. I don't know why all those lords are walking there instead of dealing with the Reach, though. That would have been a cool battle to be a part of, but I don't work for them, and I'm not going to worry about their troubles right now. Looking for that heavy, heavy destrier that we're such a big fan of, but not finding it. Not finding any reinforced pavises, the very favored shield that I have. Now we're going to run upstairs here, the only upstairs bar in all the land. And is that Colin the Mute? It looks as though it is Colin the Mute, and Colin the Mute, welcome back, my friend. Alan Cargyle as well, and we're going to grab him. Sorry your sister was raped. That's the spirit. Glad to have you with us, Alan Cargill. Now, we, of course, have some horses for them if they can ride them. Colin the Mute with 3 in power draw. He is going to be another archer. Alan Cargill with 4 in riding is going to be happy to be the guy who uses our mailed destrier. We're going to go back onto our stubborn courser and help Alan Cargill feel really cool about himself and his position in the world. We're going to take that and get him a better item as soon as possible. But now, 2 more companions in our group, and we are still looking for more. Happy to have Maron back. We're going to stop off at Old Town. We're going to make the run of the Reach go to Ashford and collect some stuff. Ignore those berries. Obviously ignore the berries. By the way, we are always going to ignore the berries. There are much more positive or negative outcomes than positive ones, it seems, so we're not going to mess around with that. Another heavy destrier. The most awesome of all horses as far as I'm concerned. But I think we don't really need one right now. That's nonsense. We can always use a heavy destrier. You can see a bunch of cool plate armor and that sort of thing, but we're going to get this pig face clap visor. And some plate mittens. We're going to buy these boots too. Why not? And just be able to increase the abilities of our people to stay alive. Colin the Mute, what can you wear? He can't wear plate boots. He can't wear plate mittens. Can he ride a horse? No. I don't know what Colin the Mute can do. He can't do much. He has no weapons right now. We can just assume that he's going to die wherever we send him. Never mind Colin the Mute, but we will anyway send you up. Alan Cargill has to feel happy. He joined up with me and then all of a sudden got the coolest horse he'd ever heard of. Maron with a level up. We can get him riding one more point up, and that is what we need to ride that heavy destrier, which is what we'll be giving to him. And Maron, sort of at a standstill for us, I guess. He could get another engineer point, but we're going to put it into power throw for the eventual transition to javelins. He's on a Dothraki courser still, but now on a heavy destrier. Now with the clap visor, with the mittens, with the plate boots, with this we're essentially saying, Maron, you are a cool guy. We now want you to be our friend. But that is all we're going to do with him, and hopefully we're going to be able to put his sort of bad gear onto Colin the Mute. Yes, he can equip those gauntlets. He can equip those boots. What about this hat? No, he can't. But we're going to put him on a horse anyway, I guess. And maybe take a spear from someone. Okay. Well, not a lot of places to throw that back, I guess, so he just will stay without a weapon for right now, but we'll keep in mind that he doesn't have one, and try to get him some gear. You can see now that we are pretty broke after that, but we're going to collect some rents from Ashford, and that's going to make us feel a little better about it. Alan Cargill only level 3, and with those stats, so he is going to be someone I'm really excited about. My old friends here in the Reach, I don't have to care about them very much, though. We're just running around, stopping at the taverns. Matrim Osgry and Martin Snow. Martin Snow wants to join us. Okay, I can't afford to pay him right now, but after visiting the merchants, wow, it does appear that the rents save by the month, so we are not having a useless investment here, but it will require us to come back every once in a while and collect. This is going to allow us to get Sir Matrim Osgry in our group. Never mind, he is insulted by me. That's unfortunate. I will definitely keep that in mind for the future whenever I cannot pay a man immediately. Martin Snow. Now, one of our companions. Can he ride a horse? We shall see. Alright, he's got 2. Does he have 3? He does. There's a hat for Martin Snow. He still needs a shield. We need a lot of things, in fact, but we can be pretty happy about this video. We did get Maron back. We have all in Cargyle, who will definitely need a couple points in Weapon Master before we do anything else with him. See that his weapon skill's still quite low. But many companions now. Maron looking like a different guy, looking just like Giannis in fact, except for that big two-handed axe slung over his back. And we can feel now very nice about our party. Just a collection of some tough guys roaming the world, looking for trouble, looking for prisoners in fights. Not worrying too much about the affairs of state right now, but of course always trying to make Robb Stark happy. Anyone here in the tavern in Tumbleton? We will try to grab them? No. We have been assaulted. I don't think they really wanted to do that. There's one dead from Gurner Pike. And Finna with really nice moves there. You can see that two-handed weapon not at all going to waste. They just wanted someone to die, and that's what they got. Anyone at the tavern here, though? No one to speak of. At this marketplace, we're mainly looking for affordable things like food. It looks like there is a lot of bread here, and we're going to buy it. In the arms department, what we're really looking for is those pavises that we can use on horseback, not finding them right here. And now we've collected our rents in the south, gotten quite a few companions, but we can always find more, of course. This raider has a Stormlands Knight in his custody. They're our favorite kind of guys, and so we're going to chase them down and say, what are you doing with some knights as captives? We don't want that to be going on in our country. They are almost as fast as us, or maybe just as fast as us. Almost as fast. But they got trapped by some honorable men, and now it looks as though they were about to kill those honorable men, in fact, because they are, well, only 3 in this battlefield, but now all of those heavy destroyers, I really like the gray look that you see there on Giannis and Maron, looking very cool. Maron proving that I was right to try to get him back on my side, dismounting this Storm Enforcer, and now just trying to get a couple of kills here. It's very important to always be backing up when we're in this battlefield, just reduce the damage they can do to me. You see my weapon skill higher than the Raider leaders, which is what enables me to win that one-on-one weapon swing fight. If you have a higher weapon skill, you should be winning every battle against someone else because it takes them longer to swing, and you will be doing more damage with your increased weapon speed. Our relationship with Manhunters has released from 0 to 4. I guess we've never helped them out before, but we got a Stormlands Knight now. We can be really pleased about that. Always happy to get more knights on our side. And we have some upgrades to do. Oh, looks like only one upgrade to do. That's just fine, though. We're going to run down to Stony Sept. Anyone at this tavern? King Robb Stark has just banished someone, and they went to the Riverlands. Pretty interesting stuff. Everything apparently in flux there. Korot the Slaver. Not this time. I don't have any prisoners. That's a pretty rare moment. I must have just sold them off. Now, I'm thinking what actually is more practical is, given that Colin the Mute can equip bows and arrows, what we're going to do is put Felton Flowers back on a horse for the time being, because I had just remembered where he was at in terms of being an archer. And now we're going to give Colin the Mute off of that horse, giving him a longbow, making sure, of course, to change him to the archers group. We are going to need to well, we had a little bit of a error there showing. Brendan Storm actually also still set in the cavalry group. Quite a mistake. You can see that there were several of those going on for me with my new and my old companions. But now they have mostly been sorted out. Many more companions in this playthrough than in the rest of them. Combined, I think I've never had so many men on my side that were going to level up alongside me. It's pretty exciting. Maybe they'll start arguing with each other. If so, then I'll get rid of my least favorite ones, but these broken men carrying no one of consequence for me. Edmure Tully wants me to be a vassal. I don't want to do that. You are just the Lord of the Riverlands. Now I am down to 15 estimation for him, and I don't care. This Dothraki courser, pretty nice. We're just going to keep that up at the top. Just in case we need it. Lots of bread in our inventory. I know this isn't the most interesting playthrough, but we are doing a lot of housekeeping and recruitment and all of that. What we can do now is either we're going to go to Duskendale and King's Landing at least, just to check out the taverns because we are so close to them. Nothing to see here. Into King's Landing, and from that point we're just going to go all the way north looking for Robb Stark again and asking what we can do to make the King of the North a happier guy. Nothing but sellswords here. See, it's a good place to come for plate, of course, but we already knew that to one degree or another. Buying more bread, buying more grain. And now we're just going to be running far to the south. Not to the south. It is the south on this map, but it is not the south in this. Okay, we are going to send for a maester. He should know what to do. He cleared our head, but we still feel weak. That's alright. What we're going to do now is go to the north. We are looking for Robb Stark again. We're going to say, hey man, we ran down to Case. It was fun, but what do you want from us today? There's this caravan. They were taken prisoner by the raiders. I don't care about all of that. Those are affairs of state that do not concern me. Losing 1,000 gold this week. Just 13 looters in that group. Not really that impressive. Roose Bolton, though. He says I sound like a good man. So he should probably tell us where Robb Stark is. Robb Stark is up hanging out with wildlings. Well, that is good to know. And that's where we're going to go to after we attack these Cronug men who were so foolish as to want to mess with us. We will fight you to the end. The end should not be far from right now. This should end up very, very badly for them. But we can see finally that our companion's not totally great. Martin Snow in his characteristic gambeson, his leather jacket, somewhere around here, right up there. And he doesn't have that great of a helmet, anything like that. Okay, wow, look at all of them falling down, though. Taking some damage on our horse. And just coming in, spearing everyone we can find, and getting some kills. You can see that cavalry charge is more effective in the first second than in all the ones afterwards, but still quite strong. And of course, nothing happening there, but many of them being knocked out, we can only assume by being run over by a horse, rather than by any other thing. 168, I think it is, gold per Crownukman. We can be happy with that reward, considering that we didn't work very hard for it at all. More Crownugmen want to fight me. Very curious behavior. Calling the mute with the level up, that's good. We will be finding them in the middle of this forest. But even if half of our cavalry gets knocked up, oh wow, we outnumber them 4-1, just cavalry to infantry. You can tell that this battle is going to be over quite quickly. I, of course, wasn't particularly trying to fight them. I was just trying to find Robb Stark again. He's my bro. Giannis with the level up, very nice. Alan Cargyle, pretty cool. You can just see all those companions that we very recently acquired starting to level up pretty quickly. And I guess the first 10 or 11 levels do go pretty nicely. It's only when we get to 15 and 16 and so on, whenever we get into the really meaty level ups, that they start slowing down. But now, just running to the north here, wondering when we'll see Robb Stark. Reginald Estrin, we must remember, is not a fan of us. Screw that guy. Anyway, Colin the Mute. We remember that Colin the Mute has been assaulted by White Walkers, and that is why he is the Mute most of the time. It's not because he cannot talk, it is because he had a really bad experience. I see now we're at minute 33 of this video. Good a time as any to stop off. We're all healed up, so we're going to level up before we end it, but that's the last thing we're going to do. Okay, every point Colin the Mute gets needs to go into strength for a little while, just so he can get some decent abilities. And in addition to those abilities, some decent armor to wear. Giannis being pretty awesome with this level up. He has 6 in wound treatment and first aid, which is what he's mostly useful to us for. But now we're going to pump his strength a little bit, get him another point into power throw, and just put these points into throwing. Alan Cargo with another level up. You can see his skills not too wonderful in terms of the agility ones, but his strength pretty alright already. We are going to want to get him to level 3 Weapon Master at least, which is going to let us go to 140 or 180 pretty comfortably. And that's the first objective. We're going to get him now levels into Power Strike probably, but Power Throw is also equally good. Power Strike is where it's going to be though. We need to get him leveled up in what he has right now. Just leveling up. More heavy Stormlands Knights. What is our number now? 12 heavy Stormlands Knights. And that is just wonderful. Now, that's going to be the end of this video, though. This is Tarquin, signing off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And Hope that you've been enjoying this. I really should work sometime today, but right now I'm just having a blast.